So I'm really sorry, fella, but I'm going to have to do this. Thanks for participating. Right, so then we're going to crouch down and we're going to reach out and hold left grip and get his... That's a shotgun. Well, hello, welcome. You're watching Headset VR. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to a brand new gaming video. So, Stalker 2 in UEVR. We've covered it quite recently on the channel. Brilliant atmosphere, brutal immersion, a little bit of jank. But something has changed. Something big has changed. Physical interactions are now in the game. Reach out, grab weapons with your hands, open doors. Your hands are in the zone, and I need to show you this. Okay, so first things first, what we're going to do is, as I mentioned with a recent video, I'm going to show you how to get AFW set up with every single game that I cover on the channel. Now, the results of this can vary from game to game, but we're going to show you what it's like with Stalker 2, first of all. So, I'm an AMD user, and it's slightly different on how you get this up and running as an AMD user. Now, it's dead easy as an Nvidia user, so I'm going to show you the AMD first. Now, there's a couple of files that you've got to download because this only works with DLSS. So you need to trick your computer, or spoof it as they call it, into thinking that you're running DLSS. So you need to download a program called Optiscaler. This is where you get Optiscaler from. If you want, there's instructions on there if you want to follow that all pretty much yourself. Just go through, etc. Blah, 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 if you really want. But I'm just going to show you the quick way. The important thing you need to do is, well, first of all, you've got to download the file, haven't you? So the file itself to download is, as it says, right from here. So I'll give you this link that will take you to the previous page so you can have the instructions if you want to. And if you just go all the way down the bottom of the page, you've got the most recent version, which at the time of recording was 2 weeks ago. So download that. I've already got this downloaded just here. Here's Optiscaler and here's the unzip file. So extract the file and you'll get all these files just here. Now, what you do then is go into the game, presuming you have it on Steam, and just browse local files. So for Steam, right click, manage, browse local files, and it'll show you where everything is. And what you need to do is find the launch.exe for this game, not this here. So have a little bit of a look. It might be in somewhere, there you go, like so. So as you can see here in program file Steam, well, if you go into Steam, Stalker 2 binaries Win64. I'll just show you that again. So you're in the actual game files, go into Stalker 2 binaries Win64, and this is the launch application just here. So if I just drag this over here, and then we're going to pull up all the Optiscaler files just here and shrink that down so we can see both, and then basically just copy all of these and paste them into here. Now, it did tell me about some duplicate files, and when I tried it with duplicating the files, it didn't work. So maybe there might be some trial and error here. So here we go. It'll say replace the file in the destination. Now, I skipped this file trying this on Silent Hill 2 and it worked. So I'm not sure whether it is something we need to do. That is something I'm going to have to clarify. This is all new to me. It's new to a lot of people, so there's a little bit of trial and error. So I'm going to click skip this file, and it copies everything over. But what we need to do as well, if you can see this Optiscaler DLL that we've just copied over, which is over here now, we need to rename it. Now, it tells you, if I just show you, on the previous page, it shows you on this page what you need to rename it as. So here the Optiscaler supports these file names. The most common one is the DXGI.dll. So we're going to copy that because we're really lazy and copy and paste is there for a purpose. And we're going to rename this and paste that. But obviously we don't want .dll twice. So we're going to make sure we've got DXGI.dll. And that's that. That is all you need to do as an AMD user. Just simple as that. But it is for every game. So you need to do that for every single game that you're trying this using AFW in. Now, if you want to know more about AFW, then I suggest you check out my previous video, which is all about AFW and showing you what it does. So in a nutshell, basically, it's going to increase your FPS. So if you're on a lower end rig, for example, like, I don't know, a 3080 or something like that, if you've got an Nvidia card, then this is going to benefit you massively because it will give you better performance. And some of these games that you play in VR and you're chugging along at 20-30 FPS, or you're dropping it down to potato settings just because you're so keen to get the game to play, and I get that because I've been there myself, then this will give you playable FPS where you're not chugging along in potato mode. You've got decent settings and it's going to look decent in the headset as well. And now what we do next is you need the new version of UEVR. Now again, there'll be a link in the description for the AFW version of UEVR. Let me just find that in my downloads. So this is a new AFW one just here. And if I just go to where I've put all the AFW versions, we've got beta 5. So it's like normal UEVR. You double click on it, you press on the down arrow, pick the game, import your config, and inject, and you're away. Exactly the same as what it was with normal UEVR. And that is what you do for both AMD and Nvidia. But as an Nvidia user, you only need to do this little part. You don't need to do the Optiscaler part. But AMD users will need to use both of those methods. Like I say, it's only one thing extra you've got to do. It's not really that tricky. But some people can be about, oh, what do? I don't know where I'm putting these. I've been there as well myself. I get it. It can be confusing. There's a lot of files and things to change over. Are you putting them in the right one? Follow this video. Pause it if you have to. Look at where I've put things. It is quite straightforward. But it's a case of the more times you do it, the easier it gets. So we're just going to show you the basics of this new profile. Let's just jump straight to some gameplay. And we'll be in VR straight away. And we'll show you what's happening. Okay, right, so I've launched the game and very quick UEVR setup. This isn't really about the UEVR setup, but I always try and do some kind of setup guide for you guys because, as I say, this kind of thing can be complicated. So if you've played Stalker in UEVR before, go into the Open Global DIR first of all, scroll all the way down to find Stalker. Now I've just literally just done this already, so you right click on the Stalker 2 file, hit delete, get rid of that because that's your old profile. It's going to conflict with this new one. And then from there, we're going to go onto this little down arrow here, find Stalker 2 just there, click on import config, and wherever you've downloaded the config to, click on that, hit open, and it'll tell you about a DLL. Just accept the DLL. The whole profile will open up. Just minimize that. Now, there are two profiles, first of all. There's one with just hands, which is what I'm using, and there's also the IK profile with full body and arms. If you want that, that's up to you. I just want this one with the hands. But then from there, you hit inject. Now, this might take a couple of seconds to actually inject, but then when it gets going, we'll be in VR, so I can pop the headset on. It's enabling. Okay, right, so we're there within VR, and as you can see, I've got alternate frame warping on, and we're running at a solid 60 FPS according to the UEVR FPS tracker. And if we have a look in the top right corner, the Steam FPS track is saying exactly the same as well. So we've got a pretty solid 60 FPS, which is great. Now, when I was playing this before, I was finding I was only really able to achieve 40 FPS. So I'm sure that there's a way of getting this a little bit better. Now, I've had to put my Quest headset onto 120 Hz refresh rate to get this. I was trying it on 90 for ages. Wouldn't get any better than that at all. So it would start at 90, then it would drop down to 45 again, which isn't really worth telling anybody about. Right, so anyway, the main thing about this video is I want to really talk about the new physical interactions. Well, would you look at that? We can pick things up and drop them. Can we? No, we can't throw things. Well, unless it's a grenade. Well, that's truly excellent, that is. So, what does this mean in practice? I mean, I say this isn't just Stalker 2 on a screen inside your headset. The UEVR mod, it's a free open source tool that does something almost miraculous with flat screen games and now adds a layer that lets your physical movements map directly into in-game interactions. Now, it's not as customizable, or it's not as good, I found, as some of the others. I found when I picked up items, I could actually throw them in some other games. I have had a little difficulty in picking things up in this game. So, with this, we can't literally go around and pick up any old thing. So, what we're doing is we're overlapping the left hand with an item and picking it up. So it doesn't work with everything I've found. So I think this really only applies to items that you can actually interact with in the game anyway. Like loot, food, ammo, medicine, that kind of thing. Because you can actually drop things in your bags. Now, there should be some guys around here which I can potentially cause a bit of trouble with and maybe even shoot. And we can steal their guns if they're so kind. Ah, there we go. Is that gone? No, it's an alien xenomorph egg. Okay, we're going to ignore this alien xenomorph egg because we don't really want to play around with xenomorphs while in the zone. Xenomorphs? Let's just load the gun. I mean, the physical interactions that are in this anyway with gestures are absolutely brilliant. But you do need to make sure in the UEVR Stalker 2 VR script, make sure that you go into the gesture toggles and make sure you've got ticked add item to inventory. And as it says, release grab item over your left shoulder. So if we can find an item, we can potentially drop it into our inventory. Right, well, you get the gist of it. So basically you can pick things up, drop them over your shoulder, and well, it puts it into your inventory. And playing that now, with all the gestures that you've got incorporated into this game, and the fact that you've got AFW, it makes this for a thoroughly exciting and thrilling and immersive experience. So I mean, the feel of physically handling a weapon in this world is brilliant. You've got the two-handed aiming as seen like so. You know, it's physical reloading as well. So just kind of, you know, all the other stuff. I mean, I've gone on about all this before, but there's so many reasons to play this game in VR now with all the good things that you get here. But I mean, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Like I say, there is some imperfections, some limitations, you know, and when you're pushing the boundaries of what a VR mod can do, you know, it's moments when it does work that really makes it feel like it's generally something else. And in a game like Stalker 2, where the atmosphere is already doing 90% of the heavy lifting, that weight, that presence, it just elevates everything. So my honest verdict on the physical interactions, it's still kind of early days. I'd like to push the modder to see if we can do a little bit more, but obviously we are limited by the way the game was actually made. So, you know, there's some things that you're not going to be able to pick up, some things that you are going to be able to pick up. But, you know, it's opened up a can of worms for all the possibilities that you can actually get with things like physical interactions, along with all the gestures that you get as well. It's very, very well worth playing. I mean, even now, I mean, the feel of physically handling a weapon in this world, the way of reacting to picking up an item out of a crate in an abandoned building, like what we attempted over here. It's a glimpse of something that, like I say, it blurs the lines between playing a game and actually feeling like you're in one. Feeling like you're actually in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. So, if you've been sitting on the fence over whether Stalker 2 in UEVR is worth your time, this update is a great reason to jump in. I'm not sure whether there is going to be much more to come with this, but I'm sure there'll be something that the modders will find that we can add into this game. So if you have tried the physical interactions in Stalker 2 UEVR, or you've got questions about getting the mod set up, pop them in the comments section. Oh, have we got incoming? We have got incoming. Pop them in the comments section. I'll respond to every single comment. And if you have found this video helpful or just generally enjoyed it, do me a solid. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more VR related content right here on the channel. We'll see you again soon for another video. Take care, folks. I'm going to go over there, see if I can kill that guy, pinch his gun, and show you it in my inventory. Hopefully without dying this time. Can't guarantee of success. Anyway, we'll see you again soon for another video. Bye-bye for now. Wish me luck.